Hi, everybody! Welcome to the internet's absolute favorite long-form Thirsty Sword Lesbians game, of at least two that I know of. Sparkle Heart Magic Force Go! Um, Welcome to Enchanting Sorcery Productions. It is our finale, and for our finale, I would love to hit 50 subscribers. I don't know how many subscribers we have currently, because my computer is freaking out, but I would love to hit 50 subscribers, because when we do, our producer, the inimitable Baba Yaga, has promised to get a tattoo for this show. I believe currently it is our two little cute critter companions holding a banner between them saying "Sparkle Ye, Sparkle Ha." If we get up to 75 subscribers, she will let us choose where she gets that tattoo. So please buy yourself a subscription. Use Jeff Bezos' money to get yourself that free subscription you get if you have Amazon Prime, and gift other people subscriptions. They're only $5. Somebody here has to have enough money to spend $20 buying 4 people a subscription and really help us out. That would be amazing. You know what else would be amazing? My players, well, they are amazing. The subjunctive mood is unnecessarily there. They are amazing. So why don't we just jump right into the intros? Today's intro question, what we see in the credits sequence as the anime Sparkle Heart Magic Force Go opens up, is some visual of what that character would change if they could change it. What they would like to have done differently. And I'm going to start with the one player who's not on mute right now, Cam.
So, little known fact, I was on mute, but just my external microphone. Tricked ya! Hi, I'm Cam. I use he, him pronouns. I'm playing the moment, and they use mirror pronouns, so anything that you use, the mirror will use, the moment will use. So, what would the moment change? Here's the thing. The moment doesn't know what the moment would change, because the moment is happening. But Tallahassee, which is the other character you might know, she would probably change. Here's the thing. I also don't think Tallahassee would change a thing.
Tallahassee really likes all of the pain and suffering that her friends are going through right now.
Well,
is that what you're saying?
I think that's not at all what I'm saying. I think what I'm saying is that Tallahassee trusts that things are the way that they're supposed to be, because even bad experiences highlight the good experiences. And though like her friends are experiencing like pain and suffering now, that will only make the joyous moments that they feel afterwards better.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like
that's
that.
What I was saying.
Okay. I like that, and I like mirror pronouns. That's brilliant, genius.
I'm pretty sure I stole that from somewhere.
You know what else I like? The player whose video is right next to you on my screen, Eve. I'm really good at segues, y'all.
Oh no, I'm still thinking about what Sawyer would change, because there's so much. But anyways, yeah, I'm Eve, she, her. I'm playing Belladonna Sawyer, aka Icewolf Striker, previously Song Guardian. Also she, her. Oh, what would Sawyer change? That is hard. Cause, like, is this like a personality thing or an event or
whatever you would change? Anything. Something we can see in the credit sequence.
I don't think she would, like, if she, like, if you put her down in the moment and asked her, it's just like, no, you have to answer right now. She would have said, I wouldn't have pulled the trigger on Ragnarok Collapse. If we lost, we lost.
So, how does that look in the credits?
I think you see her raising up the sword and ready to call down on that power. Then she stops, and lowers the sword, and just waits for the Eidolons to approach.
That grim Viking glare as you watch in a certain death approach. I love that image just as much as I love the player to your bottom left on my screen. Jess, why don't you tell us which one of you is the player and which one of you is the character?
Shouldn't I go last?
Well, we have some business to do before we go into the thing. And I specifically told you not to say that thing during the opening credits sequence.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm Jess, pronounced she, her. I'll be playing Cherry, the scoundrel who is the Sparkle Guardian, former leader of the team. If Cherry could change anything, she would have beforehand figured out where Aura was, so that Aura was at the final fight, so it would have gone differently. They would have had Aura's power on their side, and it would not have been such a struggle, and they probably wouldn't have lost all their magic, and they still would have been a team.
So what does that look like in the credits?
It looks like all of us at that final climactic battle in the prehistoric past, and when she draws her sword for that final attack and gets everyone to raise their swords to add their power to it in just a rainbow of color, behind them rises up the angelic light form of Aura, who adds their power to the attack.
Yes, that's so epic. I adore it so much. I'm gonna go next to Juicy.
Yes, so, hi, I'm Juicy, and I am playing Sunbeam, our Solar Guardian. And I think she would change literally every prior decision she has ever made.
Damn!
She is just consumed by regret and second guesses. And she knows there were mistakes, and she doesn't know which ones were the mistakes. So she has to change all of them and think about all of them. And I think we see that in the opening credits, where it's like a black screen with her front center from behind, and then she's in silhouette, and in dissolves like critical moments of prior seasons in the show where we see like her taking action, but it's against her silhouette, her black silhouette.
That's a good image. I love my players, y'all. My players are amazing. I am sad I don't get to play with these players for 8 weeks after this game, but they're gonna come back. I'll talk to you about that in a little moment. First, everyone's favorite emo boy, BOI, question mark? I'm not sure what term to use. So.
Hi, I'm Solstice. I use any neopronouns, and I'm playing Adrian, the Fallen, who uses they, she. I think the moment we see of Adrian changing something, I think she changes how she treated her past self.
And how does she change it? What does she do?
I imagine it's just like moments when she was a child and being like really overly anxious and self-critical, and she has somehow like traveled back in time to tell herself that it's fine.
I imagine we see 28-year-old you giving 8-year-old you a big hug while 8-year-old you cries. That's the image in my head. Hi everybody, I have 19 different names, so I give a different one each and every single time. One of them is Gandalfina Face and Heart, and I use 3 different sets of pronouns. One of them is Fae, Femme, Fear, Fierce, Femme Self. And if I listed all of the things everyone in the world who wasn't these 5 would change, we would be here a hell of a long time, and we would never get to the episode, so I'm not going to answer that question. What I will answer is a couple of other questions first. One of which is that, as with any role-playing game, but especially games in the romance, horror, and humor genres, there is the possibility that we will touch upon something which is sensitive to you, which may be a trigger or just may be difficult for you to process and handle without prior warning and prior preparation. If that happens, please take care of yourself. You don't need to stick it through. We won't even know that you did it, so we're not going to care. We would like you to watch the episode, so if you want to do what you need to do to be able to be present for that kind of scene, and then go back and watch the videos on demand on Twitch or on YouTube, that would be hella rad. But you don't have to. You're more important than this. So take care of yourself. Because role-playing game is an improvisational medium, I cannot give you an extensive, exhaustive list of what triggers might occur during the session, because I can't predict it. However, I can give you some that I think might. And that list includes physical violence, displays of anger, yelling, childhood trauma, amnesia, friendship trauma, permanent character death, some gore, physical violence, toxic relationships, allusions to the effects of transphobia on trans women, specifically. No transphobia will be shown on screen, but growing up in transphobia has affected the lives of at least one of my characters quite deeply. And my favorite
And
one
player.
and player and GM. And one of my favorites that I added on a couple weeks ago is toxic living in the now. I don't normally do this, but to whet your appetite, I will also tell you that some of my players' wishes included things like, don't kill me, please, I'm begging, make my therapist money mommy, and everyone to end up in the same place. Maybe hell. Those are all things my players wished for this session. If you wish for anything this session, you can cash in your channel points for a variety of things, several of which are not on... Oh wait, are they on? No, they are not on our thing right now, so dear producer, please get in touch with the channel producer. But you can cash in your channel points for such things as a cute critter companion cameo, an indulgent outfit description or transformation, an individual flashback, or a group flashback. You can also, as with any game on Enchanting Sorcery Productions, cash in channel points for me to draw a tarot card, which will then go on to affect the game. Last session I drew like 10 tarot cards, and it changed everything. To do so, I will be drawing from this Sailor Moon tarot card that I bought off of Kaya's Clubhouse on Etsy. And I will put the link in there so that you can buy your own Sailor Moon tarot deck. It's very pretty. Baba Yaga, you misremembered the command. I beat you to it. As always, sorry, I had to collect my thoughts there for a second. I believe that's all of the pre-show chitter-chatter. So we're going to open up the show, as always, with some meta text. Careful-eyed fans of Making Unknown Pictures flooded the Sunlit Garden and other fan sites for Sparkle Heart Magic Force Go after the first episode, with posts titled, Hunarm Rityu Builders, oh my god? A new kind of honor tie-in confirmed. Why did they cross SHMF over with that? And the like. Excited, shocked, or worried, or all three, these fans filled social media with theories about the connections between this new cartoon and the rest of Making Unknown Pictures' oeuvre. Hunarm Rityu Builders LLC first appeared in a movie called A New Kind of Honor 1, Class War. The film and television critic Hair Me Out wrote, Class War, like no doubt the remaining films in the series, portrays a difficult, murky world in a situation that defies its obvious villain, in the ways in which each character is made complicit in their own doom by the larger sociocultural system that has engineered the conflict. Resisting fashionable hopelessness, it instead offers a filthy optimism in which no one remains clean of sin, of hypocrisy, of vice and excess, of guilt and regret and desperate actions. And yet the struggle for an impossible and vulnerable honesty becomes its own paradise. Accordingly, I cannot call it grimdark, but must add a letter in the middle and describe class war as grimdark. The movie centered around a popular activist by the name of Ursula, fighting back Punarmityu builders as they attempted to swoop in and gentrify an impoverished 1990s Florida neighborhood. After a couple of sequels, it became clear that the film series was a grimdark retelling of the Arthurian legend, ultimately centered on Ursula's kid, Arthur. Punarmityu Builders LLC fulfills the role of the Saxons in the legend, initially fierce enemies before being integrated into the society, able to serve a wide variety of roles in the narrative beyond that initial role. The name of the fictional company, Punarmityu, means something like re-death, and refers to the idea that the wheel of existence, called samsara, ensures that you will experience the ignominy of not only one death, but many, infinitely so, if you cannot find some way to escape samsara. Fans found great pleasure in their endless speculation about the reasons for and effects of this crossover. Was it, perhaps, just a gag on the name of the roller rink the Sparkleheart Magic Force had used as a base of operations? Was it some sort of statement about how the Mystic Guardian's childhood clings to them, unable to be washed off, or maybe indicating the nature of the struggle facing them? Of course, it could have been simply referring to Punarmityu Builders' role in demolishing the Museum of Natural History in order to construct their theme park. I don't know. What do you think? And then, after the last of the possible changes scrolls by and the credits end, we open up on a scene that seems somewhat familiar and yet is subtly different. Jess, it was your idea, so would you describe the scene?
Yes, it's the team once again leaping from branch to branch in giant prehistoric trees, which have sprouted magically from the park, and they are chasing a nefarious squirrel eidolon. And as a team, they are dashing together, except the title sequence comes up. And what does it say, Stacy?
It says, Heart Song Magic Force Go! As we have opened up on a scene that never happened, but could have happened, in which Song Guardian has ended up as the leader of the team, rather than Sparkle Guardian. So, Eve, would you like to jump in and describe and start the scene moving?
Yeah, okay. So we're leaping through a bunch of trees. Okay. Who do we think is our strongest leaper amongst us? Who's a jumpy person? What do we think? Stampede?
I was gonna say Tallahassee.
Stampede's
Well.
pretty athletic, I'd say.
I can see that.
I'd say I can jump over a bull 2 times the size of the one that I anyway, it's a metaphor you won't understand. I can do it.
Stampede, pull ahead. Drive it to the left.
Oh, okay. Yeah. To your left or my left?
We're facing the same direction.
Okay. Well, which one is left?
Make an L.
Okay. Now, which L is the right L?
This one.
Right?
Song
Okay.
Guardian
That way.
points.
Got it.
Scale Guardian. Set up a wall. We're going to try to drop it to the ground. We can take it easier from there. Solar, flash it when you get the chance. I want it blinded.
Mm-hmm.
And Sparkle, you're with me. We're going to go in for the tackle.
Oh, you got it, boss.
And you get into formation around this giant squirrel eidolon surrounded by ferns and brontosauri rushing to get out of the way. And Solar Guardian conjures up a flash. What's the name of the attack you use, Solar Guardian, to create that flash?
I don't remember. Sorry for the pause. I'm going back to where I wrote them down.
I didn't know you'd written this one down.
I had written a couple like attacks down in advance, but I've lost it. So what I'm gonna say is Gertrude Steinbeam, go.
Gertrude Stein's name gets yelled out across the pre-human forest, ruffling the leaves of the trees as this giant marijuana green beam of light cuts through and hits the Squirrel Guardian right in the eyes, distracting it for a moment as Stampede Guardian jumps on it and gets it into a grapple.
It ain't never escaping now.
Well,
Okay,
we
I got
need
it with
it
my
to get
legs.
on the ground.
You want me to take it on the ground? What are you talking about? I can hold on forever, but that's gonna... Okay, let me try it. And I want to try to, like, flip it over, like, holding it with my thighs so that my back is on the ground and I can, like, get it into a headlock.
I should have known Stampede would have gone off plan. Okay.
You know she's a wild card.
So yeah, jumping down.
I think
Daddy,
I
quit
think you
crying
and I
over
are. I think Sparkle and Song are jumping like in tandem on opposite sides of it.
Scale, can you... Scale.
Yes?
Ooh, I'm sorry.
What?
I thought I was ready for this. I'm not. I'm usually not taking direct leadership role. I'm usually just like, hey, hit the guy. Scale, you think you can keep it pinned?
I can definitely try. And
Alright. If
she
you're
would
feeling
cast-
faint,
she would
just hold back.
she would cast my
You muted yourself. I don't know if that was intentional.
no, it wasn't. She would say, Dynamite Dance, and then like two dragons spiral out of her hand and like start to wrap around it.
Yes.
All right.
It-
So,
it's-
what's the squirrel doing? How's the squirrel
It's
hanging?
squealing and struggling, but the dragons are tightening around it to keep it in Tallahassee's grasp. In fact, they get tighter than Tallahassee's arms can get, so Tallahassee starts to feel like you've got a little bound squirrel in your arms and feet. That's
Can
like
I tie them together? That's what I do. Just tie them in a knot.
you tie the dragons in a knot, and it's squealing and struggling, and it locks eyes with Sparkle, and Sparkle, you start to see the squirrel managing to take. It's an image of the squirrel jumping on Song and taking Song out, and the rest of the team saying, "You can be our new leader, Sparkle."
And that's just absurd. And I have my sword, my pink crystal sword out, and I'm like, I've got a clear shot.
Wait for everybody to be in position. Solar, you good?
Yes.
Scale, feeling good? Still holding?
Yes, ma'am.
Alright. Everybody move in. Stampede, keep tight grip. And yeah, we're all gonna start pushing forward to try to banish this Eidolon.
And how do you banish the Eidolon?
how we have not banished an Eidolon in the show. How do we banish an Eidolon? What does that look like?
I think in true anime magical girl fashion, it does take all of our powers together to make just the ring of light. Like each of us lights up, but someone does have to do like the last hit, and it could be any of us as long as we're connected.
Yes, I think we all kind of like once it's bound, it's set up for the takedown. We all surround it and point our swords, and there's a bunch of glowing sparkles everywhere, energy beams shooting out of our swords on our variety of colors, and Song Guardian just says, "Go ahead and take it, Sparkle."
She winds up and she yells, "Catalytic clash!" and just, and the sword comes down in like the energy of it like expands, like ting, and it like gets the monster, and just all the light comes out.
It cuts the swirl in half, and the two pieces fall away, glowing, becoming nothing but light until they hit the ground and they poof into powdery lavender smoke, glittering across the prehistoric floor.
And I magical girl jump back and land and put my sword on my shoulder, and I go bing, and I manifest little pink heart-shaped sunglasses. And I'm like, and that's how it's done, ladies.
Wow. That was amazing.
It was
And
awesome.
I step forward to help Tallahassee up.
Oh, thank you very much. Wow. Y'all all used like those special magical girl powers, and I totally forgot about that.
Great work, everyone.
Yeah, great work. And Tallahassee, you've got those real-world skills.
You know what? You're right. I do. Thank you, Sparkle.
Everyone did great.
Feeling solid, Scale?
Yeah.
All right. Like I said, remember, if you're feeling faint or anything, just tell me, all right? We don't want you pushing yourself until we can talk to Aura about that issue.
Though me or Tallahassee will carry you bridal style again if we have to.
I'll be okay. It's fine.
We could both do it. It's fine.
So Solar, that blast.
Thanks. I mean, it hit right dead center.
Yeah. I will say, I do appreciate the aim on that. I remember last time I was seeing spots for a week.
That was an accident. I'm sorry.
I'm just messing with you.
I know.
All right. Let's go ahead and wrap this up and get out of here. There's a taco truck with my name on it.
And with that, we cut away. It all goes blurry, as if to emphasize that was a scene that never happened. A happier version of the team, perhaps. Less traumatized, more organized, and collective in its efforts. In the blur, there are almost subliminal versions of earlier scenes that we saw when Icewolf Striker showed them to Sparkle Guardian, where there was no light and glitter and Care Bear ring of friendship. It was just Bella's blade in an Eidolon's throat, as if to emphasize the difference just below the threshold of conscious processing. As it blurs into that weird, blurry, I don't know the name of it. Some film student will know. called when you blur out into really vague and then blur into a different scene. I'm not that film student, but the different scene it blurs into is what Solar Guardian is seeing right now as she is lost in the nostalgia fog. Juicy, can you remind us or give us a new bit of deep and powerful nostalgia that has caused you to forget where you are and what's going on?
Yeah. I think that she's 21 and graduating a little early. And she finally feels that validation from getting her bachelor's in psychology.
So give us the scene, give us the visual.
Yeah. So it's, I think, her walking up, hundreds of people watching and cheering. She's in her cap and gown, her long hair tied behind a sensible flat shoe. And she walks up the stairs and across the stage, and there is the dean. And she has the stripes on like that sash that say that she's like first in her class. And she shakes the hand and takes the fake diploma and is just beaming. And it is pure, unbridled validation.
When you take the fake diploma in a way that is completely unrealistic, but this is nostalgia, the entire crowd erupts in cheers. Some people are chanting your name. And of course, because it's nostalgia, they're chanting Sunbeam, not Sunny. Sunbeam, Sunbeam, Sunbeam. And your parents are beaming at you from the end of the stage as you're about to go and walk towards them. And then the thing happens. Solar Guardian, in the present day, outside of the nostalgia, what would hurt you most?
I think Sawyer lashing out at me and confirming everything I've ever hated about myself.
I love this so much. Thank you, Juicy, for not watching last week's episode.
You're welcome.
So as you walk towards your parents, beaming with your diploma in your hand, we smash cut to your face as a pink crystal blade just pierces the skin of your throat, and your blood starts to trickle down into that little hollow at the bottom of your clavicle. And you feel that pain. And then Song Guardian, or Icewolf Striker, I should say.
Real quick, before they... I think they also feel another pain because a good chunk of their bicep got sliced.
Oh yes, that's right, thank you. You also feel searing pain, almost drowning, actually fully drowning out the pain in your throat. You feel searing pain down the entire length of your arm, and the uncomfortable feeling of your bone touching air. And then in the midst of that pain, Icewolf Striker, you have those fingers, those burning fingers, digging into the meat of your throat, leaving third-degree burns. Your ice claws and ice fangs and ice spikes have melted away. And you have just forgiven yourself. And now you strike out at Solar Guardian. How do you do it?
Is this just an overwhelming thing? I can't fucking stop it at all.
The moment has made it happen.
Oh, jeez. And I'm getting strangled while I do. So can I even talk right now? Or is this just like...
Whatever needs to happen for you to lash out in this way and confirm everything is what you do. The finale, y'all, is the episode of making Eve go,
Yeah, okay, yeah. Okay, well, so I've got this overwhelming urge to go and yell at Solar Guardian.
And confirm everything bad she thinks about you. And you know that she has hope for you, and she doesn't even realize it. And you're about to smash it.
Well, I need to get off. I need to get this blurry face off of me, and I need to go yell at her above all else. So, I think what happens is you get that sudden dry ice fog just sheathing Icewolf Striker, and then in a moment she is back to being Sawyer, and without even skipping a beat, she draws all the from her waistband, puts 3 rounds into the gut of the blurry face while kicking off of her chest, dropping to the ground, rolling, and immediately just stomping at old Sunny there.
Oh, so it ends with you literally stomping on Sunny.
No, not stomping on Sunny. Stomping to her. Just getting right up in the face, ignoring the sword at her neck. She's just right dead in those eyes.
I love this tableau.
This is brilliant. So that gray, dry ice smoke sheathes Icewolf Striker's form, and then just drops away heavier than that powdery lavender smoke in the flash sideways, leaving your form, which is much smaller than Icewolf Striker's, and causing Cloudy Day, that blurry-faced version of the young Solar Guardian, to fall forward as it loses its balance.
Actually, in its stead, could the moment be there?
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking the moment takes the shots. Because I need to experience big things to be important. So I think I stepped in the way.
I love my players, y'all. Y'all don't know how much I wanted to say no, and then Cam had to go and say that. Cam, make a defy disaster.
Hell yeah.
It's speed, so it's grace, and because you're the moment, I will also let you use spirit if it is better.
Thank you. Okay. Oh, I'm real. Okay, so I have a -2 to this. I got an 8. And then I had 0 to spirit.
6. You fail. You...
Was there any way we could use a string, or do our Tallahassee strings not count?
I believe I let Adrian spend some strings on Tallahassee earlier.
Okay, because Cherry is right there having just felt what she felt and was about to try to rescue Sunbeam. So I should be able to see this and try to affect it.
And what are you doing?
Having felt what I just felt, which was responsibility for the first time. And
Juicy didn't watch last week's episode, so tell Juicy.
The moment in I should just do the recap right now.
Oh,
last time on.
It is in fact time for last time on. You are right. That is the schedule. So
last time on.
What we see is
what you see is
thank you for remembering that. The dry ice envelops Icewolf Striker disappears, leaving just Belladonna Sawyer. And we see the gun come out of the waistband, and we see Cloudy Day start falling forward, and we see the moment look over, and things start to blur, and then last time on.
I think right before the last time pops up, I think somebody probably says something along the lines of, "What the fuck is happening?"
Yes. Guys, what the hell is going on?
Last time on Sparkleheart's Magic Force Go, the team found itself split up in the Sparkleheart Magic Park. Sunbeam was lost to the nostalgia. Meanwhile, Cherry and Sawyer, battling their own faceless versions of their younger selves, and also grappling their inner demons, were fighting for their lives. Cherry was able to summon back her broken, corrupted sword, but it fused with her arm, painfully. Meanwhile, Icewolf Striker, the altered form of the former Song Guardian, devoured the sun essence of the corrupt, faceless Solar Guardian. Meanwhile, in the moment dimension, the time between all times, Adrian, Scale Guardian, pleaded with Tallahassee for help. Tallahassee had become the moment and couldn't really understand why they should leave or do anything when they were fine just there in the moment. But before they could persuade Tallahassee, they were both attacked by the faceless Scale Guardian. The Scale Guardian demanded that Adrian remember her or die, and use her powers to strengthen the faceless Scale Guardian. Adrian refused, thus Faceless Scale Guardian withdrew her powers and left Adrian powerless. The moment was able to get them all out of the moment dimension, back to the Heart Park, and Cherry and Sawyer fought on. Meanwhile, left adrift, the moment tried to intercede, but moments have no effect if they have no past or future. So confused and lost and hurt, and for the first time in their consciousness feeling hurt, the moment decided that everyone should hurt. And thus everyone felt a searing moment of horrible emotional pain. And when we came to, the faceless, younger version of Sparkle Guardian had taken that moment to pull her blade to Sunbeam's throat.
And so now tell Juicy what Cherry's moment of pain was. Because I've already told Juicy what Sawyer's was, which is that Sawyer forgave herself.
Sawyer forgave herself. Cherry realized that the other members of her beloved team hated her, and she had made their lives worse, and she had made them into worse people, and she had burned every single bridge she had ever crossed in her life, and hurt every single person she had ever met. And everything that was happening was her fault.
You know, therapy helps.
I believe it was, we know what you did to Sawyer. You made it so Tallahassee could never love again. You're why Adrian is so broken. And Sunbeam could have been a nice girl, because a lot of people grow out of their mean girl phase.
I pushed Adrian too hard. I did not appreciate Sunbeam enough, so Sunbeam stayed a snippy, mean girl. I never was supportive enough of Tallahassee. And Sawyer, I ruined your life.
And then I ended that description with, and that was just 10 years ago.
Incredible.
So you were trying to spend a string.
Yes, now that we're all caught up. Yes, seeing, because I am also tapped into time in a way by being in touch with our past lives. So I feel like I see who to me looks like Tallahassee, or some version of Tallahassee, about to take a very powerful blow from Sawyer, which I don't understand. And I think it's that same instinct where I fell to one knee dramatically when I felt my emotional pain, and I look up and I see this clash about to happen, and I just say, no. And it's that red flash of my eyes, and I want to spin a string on Tallahassee to make that 6 a 7? Is that a partial success?
That's how that works. It's a mix.
Okay.
So you say no, your eyes flash red. We see the moment appear. Because the moment doesn't move. Moments don't move. Movement requires past, present, and future. moments just appear. So we see the moment appear between Sawyer and Cloudy Day, just a moment, ironically, before 3 loud gunshots ring out. Cam, because it's a mixed beat, I'm gonna let you know that you can prevent these 3 shots from hitting this particular blurry face. But it's the finale, so I'm going to be cruel. The mixed beat is moments don't have any meat to them. Moments are ephemeral. You can't stop them with your body. You have to stop each bullet with one of your friends' bodies, giving them a condition when you do. You can give multiple bullets to one person if you want, but they have to get hit by the bullets if you want to save this blurry face.
I thought this attack was on Sunbeam.
No, Sawyer was shooting the blurry face to make it let her go, so she
Oh.
can go yell at Sunbeam. Because everything in her brain is screaming, "You have to fucking put that bitch in her place."
Okay. Interesting. 3 bullets.
3 bullets, 4 friends. Or I suppose the old ladies. So 3 bullets, 6 targets.
And I don't have meat. Oh, what a conundrum this is.
There's a diner right there, you can get some hamburgers.
So those are the only people that are there. Dick ain't here.
Dick ain't here.
He ain't watching.
Dick ain't here. You left Dick in the moment dimension and took control from him.
That's true.
Editorial
he
note,
was-
that doesn't mean Dick Duck is gone.
What if he was here though?
No.
I
No.
can't do 2 things in one thing.
This is a hard choice. Mixed beat means
You
a
won't
hard
let me do
choice.
2 things in one thing.
Mixed beat means a hard choice.
Oh, but that was a hard choice. Okay, Cherry takes them all.
You know what? Fair.
Cherry, what condition do you have marked?
Woo! I have guilty. So woo.
Cam, which condition does Cherry now not have?
Oh. Cherry had guilty, so Cherry does not have. Cherry does not have insecure.
Thank you.
You do have hopeless, which means you start feeling the nostalgia creeping.
Aw, dang
It's
it,
hard for you
okay.
to act.
Oh, okay.
I'm so upset
now-
that you didn't let me kill that thing. Just real casually, just shoot it with a gun, be done
It's
with it.
super casually, but you got stopped by
wanted
the
to get
moment.
shot.
All the
Super
bullets
cash.
hit Cherry, who is between this fight in the flaming roller coaster and Solar
Wait, there's a
Guardian.
flaming roller coaster?
Oh yeah,
Yes.
the roller coaster's
Yeah.
on fire. The horses that made up the cart are nightmare eidolons under Sawyer's control.
Oh, cool.
They're doing laps, causing some chaos.
Oh, and we should mention that Cherry, by the way, who was on one knee when this happened, when your eyes opened, is wielding both Helga's perfect green Song Guardian sword and the broken shard of her own pink crystal sword that has a little bit of forearm dangling from the bottom of it
Yeah.
and has legs sticking out around Cherry's wrist.
Oh. Okay.
And You
Understood.
barely have a second to process that before 3 blood splatters hit your face from Cherry's body.
There's still a strange blurry-faced child with a sword to my throat, right?
Who looks like the person holding those 2 blades whose blood just splattered across your face.
Oh yeah.
That's what I thought. Oh.
And now,
Oh.
Sawyer is stomping towards you.
And I am in pain.
And you're in pain. Because Sawyer's about to confirm everything.
Well, there's also
But
like the piece
before-
of my arm missing.
There's also a piece of your arm missing. Before Sawyer confirms everything, because we had an indulgent outfit description paid for, and I think you have insecure marked. Is that right? You only have hopeless. All right. I thought you had insecure, so I was
However,
going to have you
I
describe.
would argue I should take a condition because of the pain I'm in.
I love my masochistic players. Go ahead and take insecure and describe indulgently the 18th century outfit that replaces your clothing.
Yes, so with almost a sigh, and if I weren't in pain, I would be. There's an arch of the back, and my, square cut, oversized brown shirt and my purple shift, suddenly green light wraps around me and dissolves into me in this massive chemise a la reine in lavender with huge shoulders. And it has the tight bodice, the high waistline, and then just a cloud of lavender fabric all the way down to my ankles, and the daintiest lavender leather Louis XIV style shoes you can just imagine.
I want the hair. I want to know the hair.
Oh, the hair! The hair is high. It is not wide and high, it is the width of her head, 6 feet tall, in lavender and pink swirls, with a boat on the top.
And do you have that proto goth face makeup with the fake beauty mark and everything?
Oh yeah, yep. A white face with the round pink cheeks of the creme rouge, and then just the smallest red lip on white skin with the 2 beauty marks that I have, the Monroe and then the higher one on this side, and then one up here because that means she's a slut.
That's adorable.
And a Riviere collar necklace, but instead of gems, it is wooden beads.
Yeah, I love it. So the last bit in this scene, because we're going to smash cut away once we finish dealing with this, is a shot of Sawyer stomping towards you. I think you're about to say something, even if I'm not wrong.
Yep. I think I got something. So if nothing stops her, she gets right up and Scotty, you really have to chew on that bone so loudly right next to me. Sorry. She gets right up and look at that. Fine. Be that way. She gets right up in there, completely ignoring the blurry sparkle, and just like she's prodding with a finger, just using a gun. She just jabs it right into Sunny's chest. You know what your fucking problem is? Huh? You wanna know? I'll fucking tell you. You have no fucking idea who the fuck you are. There's just a hollow fucking pit in there. There's fucking nothing. You just want to be something for everyone else, but there's nothing for you. And all you can fucking do is try to drag everybody else down into that fucking pit with you so they feel as low as you do. Fuck you.
And then we leave that loud, chaotic scene and end up in silence. Violent silence after such a loud and crazed scene. In the parking lot. The fog, which yet again does not belong in the desert, surrounding everything. A very smashed up pink, I remember some details, 1979 Trans Am. I remembered a thing about the car, other than making everybody in America sound like they were transgender. Very beat up 1979 pink Trans Am. With a slumped over pile of sparkles and geometric lines and flowers building up in the tire well, unconscious in the back seat, next to a similarly slow moving Nautilus shell, cracked in two places. In its very rear, where it has obviously torn something off of its shell, taking some shell with it. And in a line down the middle, where it was smashed in the middle of a door. It looks dazed, slow, confused. Some distance away from that car, that wreck of a car in this silent, foggy parking lot, we see a very horse-like worm stretched out into a circle, floating at about waist level, holding its own tail in its teeth. And within that worm, Saul, would you please remind us what Adrian looks like? I will personally redeem an indulgent outfit description for everyday Adrian.
Okay. I think Adrian is wearing the same pair of like beat up old brown corduroy pants that she always wears. And like the edges of the pockets are totally frayed. There's like loose threads hanging off the bottom of the pants, and she's cuffed them like 3 times, and you can still tell that they're falling apart. And there's like the fabric on the knees is starting to wear through, and there's a couple of places where there's like a visible mending. And she has this old like orangey yellow like polo shirt, basically. It's 3/4 sleeve length, and it is not quite as tattered as the pants, but this is like very worn cotton. It has been thoroughly loved. And she used to wear a leather jacket with wool lining, but it's not there.
And this very not magical girl, not Athenian, Adrian, stands again in that violent silence, uncertain what to do with herself. As I let Juicy know that the thing that hurt Adrian the most was no longer being a magical girl. Which means that the moment defeated one of the blurry faces, as the blurry-faced scale guardian no longer exists. And now Adrian is left alone-ish in this parking lot. There's that pile of glitter, there's that cracked Nautilus shell, and there's that stretched out worm. You have no direction, I think? What do you do?
Okay, well that didn't work. Fuck. Okay. Nicey, I don't think you need to do the. Oh, my dog is yelling. Nicey, I don't think you need to do the circle, and like holds out her hands for Nicey to come into her hands. And I hope that Nicey does.
Nicey lets go of its tail, which whips around as it shrinks back, still longer than it had been before. And it wraps around your finger and down your hand and around your arm. And at that point, I will also remember that we had somebody redeem a tarot card poll in the chat. And you drew an upright card, everybody. I think it's the 3rd out of 30. And because it's the Sailor Moon tarot card or tarot deck, I have to say that it's named wrong. This card is named wrong because it obviously should be named the Cousins. Those Sailor Moon fans out there will get the joke.
Thank you.
So at some point, the lovers are going to come into play. Just want to let the audience and y'all know that. But right now, Adrian.
Insane vibe. Shit. Okay. This is fine. I know what to do. I have lived almost 3 decades. I know how to handle situations. I know what I'm doing. Fuck. Oh my god. Okay. Adrian stops and looks around, and the Eidolon is gone. The car is totaled, basically. Tallahassee gone, the moment gone. So she goes over to like the only people that she can, the only ones who are there, and I think she goes up to the car and she looks at Aura for a second and she wants to talk to Aura, but she just kind of like stares at them and the geometric patterns and the falling petals, and it's all kind of a lot. So she turns to Naughty and she goes, Naughty, are you okay?
Confused curves, curving, uncomfortable motion. Is this what being drunk feels like?
I well, definitely can. Is it? Do you know why you feel this way? Is it because you're hurt?
Hurt. Hurt is. Word is too small. Hurt.
Buddy.
Had. It is love. The moment to stop him from locking away Stampede Guardian.
Is there anything we can do to get Aura to wake up?
I think you know, though you may not know you know. Just be Scale Guardian.
That's like the one thing that I can't do right now. Just be Scale Guardian.
Scale Guardian. When things go wrong, you are at your most powerful. It is the only time the past does not dictate the future. You are in the moment when things go wrong.
I am in the moment when things go wrong.
Everyone is. Everyone is always in the moment. Things are always going wrong. Whatever you do will be okay.
But whatever I... God. But whatever I do... It's not gonna help. Is there... Okay, I want to lean over to Aura and try to figure out if there's anything I can do to help Aura with.
You lean over to Aura and you see a vague humanoid shape slumped over. Those geometric lines don't seem to obey reality. In the one layer up in reality, the animators just drew them on over the cell. They're not actually interacting with the reality of the art. And the tire well is filling up with a rainbow of flowers. Aura doesn't seem to be breathing. You're not sure Aura ever breathed. But it's still sparkly and glittery and hard to keep your eyes on in a vague human shape.
In a vague human shape.
As she has always been.
As she's always been. Okay. Can I? I don't know if she has a pulse. Can I check for a pulse?
You reach to touch generally where her neck or
A
wrist would
pulse
be, I'm
point
hearing?
is-
Which pulse point?
Neck is usually easier for me to read.
So you take your crutches over to the car. We already have. You pick up your hand, one of the crutches dangling because you have the really nice ones that are attached to the forearm.
That are like nice and snug.
So nice. And it kind of flaps up as you move your hand over across the door. And you touch where you think Aura's neck is. And you feel a very, very faint, pulsing optimism.
What the fuck, dude?
And what you
Um,
see is this light on the end of your fingertips, the sparkle coming in and out rhythmically. And what you feel is things will eventually be better no matter how hard they have to be to get there. And then you forget it. And then you remember it. And then you forget it. And then you remember it. At a pulse, at a heart rate. It's steady. It's not thready. It's strong. Slow, but strong.
okay. So good news, Aura's not dead, I guess. Shit. Okay. What is the politest way to wake somebody up? The most polite way. I think it's wait until they wake up. Okay, I don't have time for that. I'm gonna try to like gently shake her to them. It's Aura.
You grab it by what seem to be the shoulders and shake it.
Not hard.
And it takes longer than you would like for this to work. You shake just long enough to start to feel desperate. And shake a little harder, shake a little faster. Until finally what seems to be Aura's head lifts and it changes shape slightly as if they're turning towards you. And you hear that familiar voice, that familiar warming voice. Tell us for a second about Adrian's relationship to Aura and how she thinks of Aura.
Ooh. Shit. I think Adrian looks at Aura with a sense of reverence. I like Adrian. To them, when they first saw Aura, it felt like interacting with a god. And even though they've come to learn that that's not the case, they still kind of hold that feeling in them of like, this is beyond my comprehension. This is like a holy being.
So, because I'm an exennial, that here hits my head as Aura's voice sounding like some sort of a cross between Whoopi Goldberg's and Morgan Freeman's.
Yeah.
And you just hear her say as she seems to look at you, "Child, what have you done to yourself?"
don't know. I think I forgot. There's a lot going on. I don't know. I don't know what to do about it. I don't know what to make of it. I I need your help. I
What happened?
mean, like, from the very beginning, what happened? Or, like, just now? Because there's kind of a lot.
There's a lot of time.
I mm, Okay.
Child, just say what you need to say.
I think
Not what you want to
Adrian
say, not what you have to say. Just what you need to say.
just what I need to say. Um, mm. Tallahassee is gone, and I don't know if she's ever gonna come back. And I'm not a magical girl anymore, and I don't think that's ever gonna come back. And I don't know how many of the others are still magical girls. I don't know if any of us are still magical girls. I mean, Tallahassee's gone, and I think it's all my fault, Aura. I think I did something bad.
What could you do that's bad?
A lot. But I think this time, I kind of might have, like, basically told my past or my Zeitgeist or something like that. I think I basically told her that I was gonna forget her, and then she left.
Texenia didn't exist anymore.
What do you mean by that? Because she did, because I was talking to her. She definitely, like, existed. I was talking to her.
There is a choice before you now, child. You can either start a new sequence, become a new time, or you can leave. It's your choice. You have freed yourself. Things won't get better for you unless you choose them to. Things were not worse before unless you choose them to. You are unmoored by the wheel.
Okay. Yeah. I was trying really hard to not think about that. That whole part of all of it. Oh God. You said we have a lot. You said we have a lot of time, right? Are you sure that that's true and that? Are you sure? Are you sure that that's right?
For one unmoored? Yes. Things were never worse. Things will never be better. For those still in the sequence of time, all I can say is it will get better.
Oh my God. Okay. Can I have a minute to think about this?
That was
About
Saul
his-
saying that?
That's me saying that.
Okay. With that statement, there's a gentle transition. So it's sort of a slow swipe. It's a George Lucas style swipe, only a little bit slower.
How can you be slower? That's like half the film.
Right to chaos. The soundtrack gets distorted is not the right word. It gets softer. It's more indistinct, vaguer for a second before exploding in fire and wooden neighs off in the distance. And we open up on very tall hair. What color is your hair, Solar Guardian?
Yeah, so I imagine this massive lavender wig that's like 6 feet
Lavender.
tall with like the curls at the sides and ringlets coming down, and then like the ponytail in a lavender silk bow in the back.
We see in a thing that really kind of only works in anime, but does kind of work in real life, a pink gloved hand wrapped around one of those little tendrils in front, pulling your hair back as the blade follows your throat.
Oh yeah, there are also lavender rose petals in that swipe. Yes.
Yeah, totally, 100% lavender rose petals. As she looks up at Song Guardian at Icewolf Striker at Sawyer, and Sparkle Guardian behind, and she says, "So you don't care then?"
Can I do something real quick?
What do you want to do?
Because we had the indulgent outfit description, and I think hit with that nostalgia wave, Cherry gets it with like the anime sparkles and the soft light. And I remember not but a few moments ago, out in the lights of the park, surrounded by just a field of dead flowers, I kissed you. Cherry kissed Sunbeam, and I see that moment again, but with the lens of this version of Sunbeam, and it's just like romantic, and roses bloom all around the edge of the screen, and I'm just like, oh, she was beautiful. And then, having lost myself in a moment of pleasurable escapism, I lose the condition hopelessness.
Ha!
And I
love
snap
that.
back.
You are smitten, yes, with Solar Guardian.
Yeah, I think so, finally.
I think yeah, with that, yeah.
No, I'm gonna
Yeah.
charge you smitten. You have to be smitten for that to work.
Yep. I'm smitten.
All right. Let me see if I can pull up your. Why do I have the book somewhere not on my desk? So first take a string on or give a string to Solar Guardian.
Yes, you have a string.
Second, tell us why you are smitten with them. What it is about them that you are smitten with.
I am smitten because they are absolutely ethereally fairy tale beautiful. They're exactly the kind of person that I, as a magical girl, would rescue.
And then tell us why your romance would never last.
Oh, this would never last because I will get bored.
I love that so much. You do have a move that triggers upon smitten, but it has to be someone you barely know. And
I
Yeah,
love how honest
yeah.
that was, by the way. Yes.
that
Yes.
was great. And you
But
snap out of it. You snap out
I
of the
snap-
nostalgia.
I snap out of it and I feel this quick beating of my heart. And then I look down and it's because my chest is bleeding, where I just got shot. And I kind of do that cough and a little blood comes out. And I look up to the faceless cherry. I pull myself up. And I say, see, this is how I know you're not me.
There's a little whistle when you breathe through your chest.
Oh, it's somebody with a little bit of training. That's really bad.
Yeah,
That's really
I'm-
bad. Your lungs about to collapse.
I am 80% magic right now. We're okay. We're okay. We're all right. We're all right. I only have 3 conditions. But I'm just like, because the only thing I've ever cared about is this team. So, here's what you're gonna do. Is you're gonna drop that sword. Because you're just a cheap, sad, great value knockoff version of me. And you know it. And I would like to use a move.
Okay.
So if I am not in combat with someone, I have a move called How Does That Milkshake Taste? And it has the effect. I think I have to roll. Oh, where is it? Where is it?
Why do I not see it on your sheet?
Because I added it on my sheet, but I added it in the chat too. Yes, if you are not yet engaged in physical conflict, I can take a harmless action to wound their pride, which I did by just telling them about themselves. So I get to roll with daring, and then I have some options. So let's see. I'm gonna do it. See what happens. Dang. Double 6s plus 3 for 15.
If only this game had that thing some PBTA games have, where rolling above a 12 gives you extra bonus plus good.
Yeah. Wow.
So you got a 15.
Yeah. So, whew. On a 10 plus, I get 2. They can either become flustered and retreat. Their allies see them as a fool and they lose critical support, or they become enraged and try to come at me, and I take a +1 forward against them. Since they're
Who
on,
chooses?
I choose.
Does it say you choose, or does it say they choose?
It says, when you do this move, roll that, and then choose. It just says choose.
And then under the options, in the option rules,
It says
so then
choose.
choose. And then it does the so yeah, I guess you choose. All right.
Yeah, great. Yeah, I'm definitely going to take the +1 forward. And I want them to attack me. I want them away from Sunbeam and away from Sawyer.
So they, you chose for them to attack you, right? You said.
Mhm.
So they look up at you as you say that, and they just say, "Fuck it." usually can fight their own battles, and throws Solar Guardian off to the side, and jumps onto Sawyer's shoulders, wielding that perfect blade of yours, which she'll like flip around, so it's like this, and she'll just move her hand very slightly, and it'll be pointing this way. Does that make sense to you at all?
Mm-hmm.
And like this, she'll leap at you, stabbing down in your direction. If nobody else is doing anything, you have to roll me a Defy Disaster to avoid getting that.
Okay, what am I adding to that?
How are you doing?
I'm defending myself.
How?
With my two swords, I'm crossing them in like an X to catch her attack.
I feel like that's daring more than grace.
Awesome. My one good stat. I am not kidding. I just rolled an 11 plus 3.
Hell yes. So you do it with style. Let me pull up the options here real quick. There's some. I think I'll just give you a string on that.
Okay.
What is everyone else doing?
I think Sunbeam is just taking everything in. She's just been shoved to the side after really seeing her greatest fear, which is that the one person who could hurt her has confirmed she has no value, and everything she has ever done is wrong. So I think she's just filling with righteous rage and is going to lash out at that cherry-shaped thing with the blurry face. And I don't even have my sword, right?
No, it got broken, didn't it? It's one of the face huggers.
No, it wasn't broken. It did get turned into a face hugger and got absorbed
then
by
the faceless Solar Guardian absorbed it.
Right. So am I able to call my sword back?
It was absorbed by Cloudy Day. So you're basically going to be trying to rip it out of them. So roll me call in a toxic power.
Okay. Which score am I adding to that?
Spirit.
Okay. Ooh, that's not great. That is a 4. I have a +2 in spirit.
Oh!
Oh, snake eyes.
Cherry stole all of your luck.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a 6? Because I have a string on Sunbeam, too.
Oh, was that a 6 total, or was it a 4 total?
It was a 4 total.
I
No,
thought you said 4 plus
I have
2.
that would no, it was 4. That includes the +2.
Oh, okay. Unless that's one of those +3 strings.
It is not.
Even though I'm smitten now? GM?
You did draw the lovers upright. I will let you spend that string for a +3.
I'll also spend a string. That would help.
Oh. That
Are
makes
you
it a...
smitten?
I'm not smitten, but I can spend a string.
It'll just be a +1 and not help you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that
sweet.
The only
though.
reason it's a
Never mind.
+3 is because they're smitten, because it's the lovers.
Yeah.
I was speaking and then it was said, and then I just kept going with it.
We appreciate it. The moment just
it-
wants to be involved.
I'm literally right there watching it.
Yeah, I'm getting to you next.
Yeah. Yeah, I see this attack going awry. What do you do? And then I'll describe.
Yeah.
Give you a
So
boost.
I think she like reaches out and kind of half lunges from the ground at this alternative version of her and just like thrusts her hand into the chest and starts to slowly rip out her sword. Full of rage.
And I see how angry you are, and I'm fighting against, I'm almost grappling with my own self. And I see that, and I'm like, Sunbeam, you can't be angry. You have to use your heart.
How many
It's always been
conditions-
yours.
How many conditions do you have, Solar Guardian?
I have two. Hopeless and insecure.
I think I'm gonna charge you angry for this. So you're gonna
Okay.
take angry.
I am happy to, because that's right in line with how I think this was inspiring me.
Yeah, 100%. As you reach, so the whole scene is that Drabby Gabby, the blurry-faced Sparkle Guardian, leaps onto Sawyer's shoulders to jump and lunge at Sparkle Guardian. And then you jump, I think, also on Sawyer's shoulders a second thereafter.
Just like when I
Sail.
leapt onto the tree. Yeah.
Exactly. Sail over Sparkle Guardian versus Drabby Gabby to land in the middle of the burning roller coaster all around. And you take your hand and plunge it towards her chest, which begins to glow with a deep jewel tone blue velvet kind of color, and starts to open up. You access that same shared space you have between the two of you. Reach down, feel your hands close around a scabbard, and start to pull, and the blade comes out. How does it look? How does it look different and more more rageful?
Instead of foxglove flowers, it is thorns. Massive thorns around a straightened blade with the odd small lavender rose. And she will just take deep pleasure in the agony this fake version of her is feeling. And with a flick of the blade, she will like cut at the throat and then look over at Cherry and just say, "Don't you tell me what to do or think anymore. I am over this."
And what are Song Guardian I keep doing that now. Icewolf Striker or the Moment? Who wants to do the next thing?
I can go. She's the Icewolf Striker. Now this is just pure Sawyer. She's standing there with a gun. People were jumping all over, and like this is the first second where she's really had a chance to like actually realize what just happened. Because she wasn't in full control of her faculties when she went to go yell at Sunbeam, and like she feels suddenly weightless, like completely unmoored, and it is not a good feeling. You've ever like hyperventilated really bad and you like start tingling all over, and everything just feels numb. I think she's just taking a step back, putting her hands on her knees. She's dropped the pistol, and she is just breathing deep because she doesn't really understand how she's feeling right now. It has been so long with so much guilt just pinning her down that she's just out of the fight right now.
In the moment,
So,
I think you're muted.
Yep.
the moment is standing right in front of Cloudy Day and has just watched the sword ripped out of her chest and has seen Sunbeam get up, get angry, do the thing. Those were the beats, those were the moments. And the moment looks at both of them, these beings of time, of the past also moving in the future, and doesn't understand what the fuck is happening here. So she puts her hands on both of them and says, I think we need a moment, and goes into the moment dimension with them.
with the two blurry faces.
No, with Sunbeam and Cloudy Day.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we've established that you can just do that. No roll needed. So you say we're going to need to take a moment, put your hands on them both, and you both, all three of you, disappear. And at that point, before we take our break, we are going to ask, I'm going to ask Eve to narrate something. It was mentioned in the behind-the-scenes chat. Please give us a very short scene, Eve, of narration of that moment.
Yeah, so we cut to Sawyer's apartment that she shares with the rest of her band, and we see Squibs and Mildred and Inertia all just like gathered around the couch, looking at Mildred's phone. And they see Sawyer with a gun that she just kind of like limply drops from her hands. She's bent over, breathing hard, and yeah, I think Inertia just says, "See, I told you, she has the gun out. It's a vengeance quest. I keep saying it. It's a vengeance quest." She said it wasn't a vengeance quest. She said it was one last job quest. I said it was a vengeance quest. I'm telling you, it's a vengeance quest. Look at those feelings. You don't get those feelings from a one last job. You get them from a vengeance.
And the video game that comes out for Sparkle Heart Magic Force Go Season 1 is entitled Sparkle Heart Magic Force Go Vengeance Quest. We are about to go on a 10-minute break. We are going to come back from that 10-minute break into a group flashback that was paid for and requested of the team's last good memory together, before we come back to all of this chaos. While we are on break, it is a great time to hydrate, because you don't want to die straight. No one really does.
No.
And it is also a great time to subscribe to the channel, or to gift other people subscriptions to the channel. I'm a member of the channel, a subscriber of the channel, because if we get, I believe it's 25 more subscribers, then our producer, Baba Yaga, will get a tattoo of Sparkle Heart Magic Force Go. And I want that to happen. And there were 18 people here at peak last I saw on the Twitch screen. There should be enough people there who can spare $10 or $20 to gift other people subscriptions in order to help us permanently mark Baba Yaga's body with this magical girl team. So please do that while you're on break. Please hydrate so you don't die straight. And please return in 10 minutes to see their last good memory together. And then to find out just what the hell even is going to happen. See you soon!
No way. Stampede Guardian. Stampede Guardian. Stampede Guardian. target. Attack target. Attack target. target. Who's that target? Who's that target?
Welcome back, everybody, to the
Fatality.
internet's favorite long-form Thirsty Sword Lesbians show. Once again, I know of only one other, so therefore we are your favorite. It's called Sparkle Heart Magic Force Go, and we just got back from break, like I said. Sorry, my brain's all a little kabobbled. We were arguing about D&D 4th edition during the break, so I apologize. If you'd like us to not have to argue about things, you should subscribe to the channel for the finale, or buy other people's subscription to the channel, or use Jeff Bezos' money to get a free subscription to the channel if you have Amazon Prime. Why did we open with the fatality screen, Baba Yaga? If we get up to 50 subscribers, which I believe we only need 24 more, Baba Yaga, the person who opened us up on the fatality screen, we'll get a tattoo of Sparkle Heart Magic Force Go somewhere on their body. If we get up to 75, we get to decide where on their body. So please subscribe, gift subscriptions. They only cost $5. If you can spare $20, that'll bring us a sixth of the way there. If 6 of you can spend $20, we're good. We're golden. But right now, we are opening up in, I think, Belladonna Sawyer's basement. Somewhere in the years between 2008 and 2012. Eve, will you please set the scene?
Yeah. Well, we see Belladonna. She's looking over top of a screen and just giving almost like a very evil glare as she says, "Before you on the throne sits the Dark Lord." He raises his staff high in the air and says, "Finally, you have come before me, and now you all shall fall." Roll initiative.
And what does Belladonna Sawyer's basement look like before anyone replies?
Oh, it's definitely unfinished. I think we're seated around a folding table. There is a fridge in the corner that is just constantly just a smidge too loud. A bunch of posters, a couple like beanbag chairs with like a couple books stacked up next to it. I think everybody's sitting on just a variety pack of old chairs that her family just aren't using anymore. And it's one of those unfinished basements that you could tell people spend a lot of time in anyways. So, yeah.
Alright. And everyone else, what are you doing?
Adrian goes, "How do I do that again?"
Okay, so you have to add your initiative modifier, which is your roll plus your dex modifier plus any other modifiers from keys.
Wait, is it just like one 10-sided dice or two 10-sided dice?
No, the D20, it looks like this. I know it's different from what you usually use with the 6 sides.
Wait, I thought this was 3E.
3.5.
3.5?
Yeah.
I think my book is 1. What's a thaco?
Oh, no, we don't use that any. No, that's not how
Where
this
did you
works.
get that book? I don't even own that book.
I got it from the library.
Do you know where the library is?
I walk there every day. I'm trying to learn so much.
Well, I
Also,
rolled an
my house is
18,
very loud.
So
Okay.
with an 18
Oh.
statistically, I'm probably going first.
Yeah, and like wizards aren't that fast, so I only have a +1, but I also have a +2 for my dex modifier, so I got a 13.
I got a 4 on the die. What does that mean?
What's your initiative bonus? It's right there on your sheet.
Okay. It's a +5. Add it. 4, 5, 9.
Good job.
Fast as hell.
What about you, Adrian? What did you get?
I think I rolled a 10.
Oh, but your dice landed on its side, so it doesn't count.
The
50-50%
dice has to land on its side.
Well, it's tipped. It's fine. Roll it again so that way it's flat, and you have a 50% chance of doing better, so it's fine.
Sure. She rolls it again. She rolls a 9.
It was a
Oh.
risk. We gambled.
I don't like gambling.
So I'll
Okay,
go
so then when
first.
do I roll the D10?
You wait your turn.
Wait, hold on, Cherry, though. What did the monster get for its initiative? We don't know if Cherry actually goes first yet.
Rolled a 15.
Oh,
Cherry?
you were right, Cherry.
Action surge. It's gonna be 6 attacks.
Oh my fucking god.
No, that's not. No, you only. You get just 1 extra attack.
It says full action.
Oh, you're just rearranging. Got it. You're rearranging the rules. I understand. Okay.
I thought that Cherry got to be higher level because she had, like, she always gets the last kill.
No, that's real life. This is like pretend.
I got it. What do I do with the D10 again?
Hold on. Well, I'll tell you.
That's just your damage dice. Don't worry about it right now.
It's a good thing you played Barbarian. That and the D12.
12. What the hell?
It's that one.
Hey, that's the.
It's the one
I
with
thought that was the 20-sided one.
No, it's. Anyway, sorry, GM. What's next?
How are you attacking right now?
I use my full 30 feet of movement, and I have my Holy Avenger's sword, and I'm gonna roll 6 attacks, and you hear like the D20 clunking.
We
hate
sit for like
Cherry.
5 minutes waiting
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
to roll it out.
is-
It's like the least dynamic thing ever.
Is
Yeah,
Cherry,
Cherry
is
doesn't
Cherry
just-
the kind that rolls individually, like each D20
Yes.
in sequence, or do you roll all
Yes.
6 at once?
No, she's rolling them all individually. She doesn't describe anything she's doing. It's that kind of D&D person. And
Everybody keeps forgetting her character's name because she just never uses it.
yeah, just fighter.
It's just like this vague silhouette of a thing with a sword.
Okay, so now we're at that level. So, what is everyone playing?
Oh, wizard.
What race?
More, yeah.
Oh, human wizard.
Human fighter.
Cam and Saul?
Tallahassee.
Oh, I'm a Goliath barbarian.
Hell yeah.
I think
Okay, so this is
probably
after Races of Stone came out.
like an elf cleric.
I had that.
Hell yeah.
I was gonna say that. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Alright, back in the game.
And I think we see like Cherry's turn, and she's just like, yes, so that's 53 damage. And then I feel like the others are much more.
I'm just like, okay, that was not. The Dark Lord Rio's back. Now, you will taste my wrath. And he's casting Fireball. And I cannot remember, was that like 10d6 and 3.5? Something like that.
Well, it depends on your caster level. I was just reading it because I was going to cast it. So it's 1d6 for every caster level. So what level is this boss?
Wait, did Sunbeam and Juicy just become one person?
You know what? You write and play what you know.
I started everybody at a higher level because I was like, they're gonna die instantly if I start them at low levels, because I need to give them some flexibility here to actually hopefully draw them into the game.
Also, when you said "feel my wrath," the picture cut very briefly to an even more stylized image of Solar Guardian ripping her thorny sword out of Cloudy Day's chest, and then went right back, just for a second, almost a still, and then right back into the D&D session, D&D memory.
It's like, roll 14d6.
Actually rolling.
There is a booming explosion. What's
my
Cherry's
God,
character's name?
Like Maria.
Maria, you're taking 46 damage.
No, I'm not.
What do you mean?
Well, first I get to riposte, so I get to lower that damage by a roll. Also, you told me when I got this that it gave me evasion.
Okay, roll the dodge.
She does. And then we resolve that, and she like has her character sheet, and she also has her notes, and she always looks like she's taking really good notes. But the camera pans where only you can see it. She's just writing her name over again, like in really pretty cursive.
Okay, who is next? Sunny.
It was me. Yeah,
Sunny,
because I rolled a
Sunny.
14 and I go right after the monster. So I'm gonna cast Fireball at the monster, and because we're level 6, that means I roll 3d6. 6 plus 6, 12 damage, fire damage on the monster. And I shout out, I am Gertrude the Lavender, mistress of trees, sister of sisters, the woods witch. The dwarves know me as Ooby Gooby, and the elves know me as Elle Lady, and you may know me by this or other names that are so secret that if I told you them, your brain would explode in a pile of glitter.
I feel like Sunbeam's one of those people where you first suggest, hey, let's play some tabletop, and they're just like, that sounds so boring and stupid, and then like come to the they come to the first game having like read the entire player's manual front to back.
She has a 7-page character background story.
Yep.
Oh, you're saying that she's Majuples.
Yes.
Fireball's AoE. This is also going to be hitting.
No, I put the center of the fireball far enough away so that the circle from that radius doesn't hit anybody else. And because we have grids, I have graph paper, I've been doing it along with you. I actually can center it against the wall if it goes over about 25 feet, and it can keep the monster right in the radius without hitting any of my friends.
Okay. The Dark Lord throws his arms up. Adrian, what's your character? What are they doing?
Oh gosh. Well, I guess I am standing near the back. And I'll cast Ray of Sickness at the Dark Lord.
If he's a lich, that's not going to do anything.
Yeah, doesn't that do necrotic damage?
Yeah.
It does not do necrotic damage because 5e hasn't been published yet.
Oh, is it negative energy?
Negative energy, yeah.
And as the beam hits it, the hood flies back, and you see it was Uncle Tony all along.
Oh no.
Oh,
Really?
And then with the gooey, we're gonna cut out of your last good memory to
Who was Uncle Tony?
I don't know, maybe it's Jikanno.
It's a major NPC all throughout the entire campaign, like constantly popping up.
Sure.
I imagine that's exactly what Cherry asked. The second he popped up, it's like, who the fuck is Uncle Tony?
Right?
oh my god, he's been in every single session.
Sure. Okay.
He's the one that started you on the quest!
I have it in my
Yeah.
notes.
Yeah, sure. This
She
is really
pulls out-
fun. I love hanging out with all of you.
I imagine Sunbeam pulling out like 7 like lined notebooks of her notes from all of the sessions, and she's just like opening all of them to places where he's been mentioned.
Amazing.
Wordlessly.
Oh my god, it makes so much sense.
Y'all, the characters in the made-up show that we are watching right now are playing D&D so hard that their players ignored me saying it ended.
Okay, now I'm gonna cast Ray of Sickness as well.
No, you
You're a
can't do that.
barbarian, you can't
No, you're
cast
right.
it.
You're kidding.
Someone
You
wanna
can't
cast
even
Ray of Sickness.
read. You can't even read.
Yeah,
You're
I
a
spent the
barbarian.
2 skill points every single day. Calm down.
You're not even
You
in
skill
a raid.
points every single day. This is peak finale, y'all. Peak finale. We cut from that to the parking lot. Once again, it goes from the jovial argument, the noise and the bluster of people who really love each other, arguing over things that do not matter. In a small, echoey basement. And that the family sound of that just gets cut off. Cruel. And there is no soundtrack anymore. As we look in on that pink 1979 Trans Am, I'm going to keep repeating the few details I remember about that car. As the broken Nautilus shell is looking a bit more active, a little bit more ready to do things. And the vague humanoid glittering shape that is hard for even the audience to look at. The original anime won awards for special effects for making such a shiny, difficult, glittery, sparkly shape that even the kids watching it had a hard time focusing on it. Almost like looking into the sun, but it didn't hurt your eyes. That's now sitting in the car, talking, gathering strength, sounding stronger every time, with every sentence, to Adrian. But it hasn't said any words in the scene yet. That was just me reminding everyone where we are. That cruel silence after cutting off that family blustery argument sits for too long, leaves the audience uncomfortable. As Aura waits for Adrian to say something.
I imagine there's a little bit of a what is the word I'm thinking of? a montage. um and it's just like of the car is perfectly still, or in the car is perfectly still, and Adrian is like just like pacing circles around the car, walking back and forth in the parking lot, and just like the whole time talking out loud to herself. And then eventually Adrian stands in front of the car and she goes, "So you said that I could basically keep being magic, or get like a new magic, or stop, right? I didn't misunderstand that."
There is only the action of understanding. There's nothing to understand. You can either start a new line, become the spirit of a new age, or you can leave.
I can't leave. I can't. So I guess I'll start a new life. I'll start a new age. I'll be, fuck, whatever. Something.
You will figure out what this age will be, something Guardian. And it will be whatever you are. You will stand beside the line of reader partisan, holding the spirit of this century. Adrian Pandemos, you are the first life you have ever experienced. Your soul does not understand past or future, never did any longer. Nostalgia and optimism are not chains you wear. You are free.
Shit, okay. I think I know exactly what I have to do with that freedom. Um, I'd ask you if you want to come help, but I don't know if you're in a state to do that.
Things are getting better. Things always get better.
Things always get better.
Until they can get better no longer. And that is the age of which I am spirit. I am the Zeitgeist of the final century. But we are in your century, something Guardian. What would you have me do?
I mean, anything you can. As far as I know, Sawyer is still a dog, and they're still fighting the Eidolons, so I think, I mean, I have to do something about that. I can't just let them deal with that alone. And it would be really awesome to have your help.
You would
Please.
go to their fight.
1,000 times over.
Then, naughty, nicey, if you wouldn't mind. And Naughty awkwardly flutters up. Its broken shell making it hard to fly gracefully. And it flies stumblingly over to the front of the car, some feet in front of this almost totaled 1979 Trans Am, pink Trans Am. And Nicey flies following, wraps its tail around the. So 1979 Trans Am have an antenna on the hood, on the front hood, the way that some cars do. Is there anything sticking up in front of the car?
Sure. Why not?
Something. Whatever makes sense for cars. Some car queer, let me know. There's something sticking up in the front, and Nicey wraps its tail around that and ties itself around that, and then stretches and grows and ties itself around Naughty. And Naughty hauls the car without reference to time over with Aura and something Guardian in it over to the battle. We will catch up with them later. Right now, we go to the battle. And that sound that had turned off picks up screechingly, roughly, cruelly, assaulting your ears with the clanging of blades and the roaring fires and whatever is going on with Sparkle Guardian and the blurry-faced version of her 13-year-old self.
Yeah, I had been fighting with myself, and I saw what happened to Solar Guardian. I saw her draw her own sword, and then she turned around and yelled at me. And then, what did it look like? Did I see the white-clad Tallahassee at the moment, like take them?
Yeah. Yes, you did.
So I'm a little shook by that, and I think just the shock of Sunbeam's words, and also that they were both just teleported away, it kind of shocks me, and I am pushed back a bit, and I lose some ground, and I kind of, and I push her back, and I look down at my sword, my pink crystal sword, the top of it shattered off at an angle, and the hilt growing into my arm. And I can feel under the magic, my arm is very broken. I can feel that pain, but it's elsewhere. I can't worry about it right now. But I look down at my sword, and I look down at the perfect green sword, and I look back at myself, and I'm like, so you really did all this just to be me?
I became you, that's the problem. I want to be me again.
Well, your time's over, sweetheart. And I'll attack. I have a +1 forward. This might not matter. It's a 7.
The 7. So this is a fight. You're trying to hurt them.
Yes.
So as a 7, you get to choose 2.
Okay. I will choose 7 plus. Ooh, I actually can use my move Impressive Swordplay and gain another string on her. And does that do anything else fun? Yeah, since I got a 7, I get to add to whatever I'm doing, what has impressed or intrigued her about me. But on the regular fight roll, she's already frightened, so can't give her that condition. But I can give her. I cannot find the fight moves. Oh,
they're
there we go.
one of the
Okay.
first. Yeah, there.
Yeah, I got it. Okay. I want to make an opportunity for an ally, who in this case would be Sawyer, who's behind us. Oh, my hands are full. I can't really. Okay. Here's what I want to do. I want to create an opportunity for an ally, and I want to take something from her. I want to kick her sword out of her hands.
So you kick the green crystal Song Guardian sword out of her hands. It goes clattering across the asphalt in front of Sawyer, who is, if I recall correctly, basically curled up, sitting in the fetal position, staring at her gun, trying to figure out what the fuck. Is that right, Eve?
Yeah, because it's just there is suddenly just nothing where something was, and she is having trouble understanding it because she doesn't feel sad. That's new.
And your sword clatters in front of you as you're going through all of this.
I think she realized she needs to do something right now. Anything to take her mind off, to just block that off. It needs to wait. She cannot focus on that right now. And so I think she shifts forward, she grabs the pistol, and after just like a half second of a thought, she grabs the sword.
Sherry, how many conditions do you have?
Ooh, I have 3 conditions.
Which 2 are you missing?
I am missing hopeless and insecure.
Drabby Gabby is impressed by how hard you're fighting in your current state. You have a broken arm. You have 3 gunshots through the middle of your torso. Your eyes are wild and crazed in that way that only anime characters can have. That's impressed her. What she does is... You said you have... Which 2 do you not have again? Remind me.
I don't have hopeless and
Hopeless
insecure.
She steps forward. After you knock the sword out of her hand, she says, I don't need Song Guardian's power to defeat you. Helga has something better now. And she just knees you in the face, knocks you on your back. And
My
puts
nose is
her-
already broken.
and puts her foot on your throat. She looks down at you. Well, at least I know I'm tough. But that doesn't matter. This will be my last life if it isn't my first. And she starts pressing down with her foot. Please take hopeless.
Okay.
Which means the nostalgia starts creeping in. Sawyer, are you doing anything?
Yeah, I think she's getting to her feet. She sees this happening to Cherry. She's breathing hard. The weapons are still held relatively limply down by her side. Because her whole drive for just pushing through all of this shit has been that guilt. Maybe I could do something here to assuage that. Or at the very least, get back to just being. It's not there. And so she doesn't really understand why she's here right now. But Cherry's getting killed. She's tired. She just wants to go home. So I think she takes a step forward, raises up the pistol, and takes a shot at fake-ass Cherry.
The sword in your hand changes shape as it becomes your sword. Please describe your rusty X-Acto blade as a magical girl sword.
Okay, so I want to say it's like a katana in terms of shape, only it's got those lines of a box cutter going down it. And you can tell if she hits the switch on the side, she can change the size of it. And the grip of it is about twice the length and a bit bulkier than a traditional box cutter. So she could two-hand it if she wanted to.
You fire the gun. This shot rings out. Please roll fight. This is not graceful. This is pure daring.
That's a 4 and a 1. +2 though, I believe, because I don't think I have any negatives on my fight right now. Oh no, I do have a negative on my fight right now. So that's just 5.
I have a string on Sawyer.
What do you do?
I think I'm getting crushed, and I think I cough out blood, and I just honestly, sincerely am like, help, please. And I think that does something to maybe snap you out of it just a little, or snap you back into the present.
So, Eve rolled a 5. So that string brings it up to a 6. Should be a downbeat. If I didn't have 5 GM strings I haven't spent yet. Eve, you've rolled a 7. Please choose 2 from the list.
Oh, good. Well, I will give an ally an opportunity. They don't really have anything I want to take, or that I could really feel like I have a good opportunity to take at range. So we will, yeah, so we're going to create an opportunity and, through violence, inflict a condition.
I don't remember which conditions they haven't taken. So which condition would you like to deal out?
Honestly, probably frightened. I don't think they expect him to get shot. Very few people do.
She is frightened.
She is frightened already.
Okay. In that case, probably insecure, because yeah, she probably thought of all people to let her kill Cherry, it would have been Sawyer.
What is Sawyer's current biggest insecurity?
Sawyer's biggest insecurity. Oh, that is tough. Because her biggest insecurity was like just all that guilt that she felt. It's a very easy path, and it's not there. I think her biggest insecurity is that she doesn't really know who she is without that guilt weighing her down.
You shoot her. Blood splatters over Sparkle Guardian's body as Drabby Gabby goes down onto her knee, which slams into the ground very close to Sparkle Guardian's head. Could easily have landed on Sparkle Guardian's head. It is the recklessness of battle. And Drabby Gabby falls to catch herself on one hand on the ground as she's holding her other hand at her chest. And she looks up at you. She says, "Without your pain, how are you going to become anything but a monster? Helga's good to be rid of you. You're the one who's fallen the lowest." Cherry, there's an opportunity for you.
Yeah, and I think in that moment where she's turned back and talking to Sawyer, it's that anime thing where she just goes, "And I have stabbed her through the chest with my own broken sword." And
All right.
I pull myself up so I'm closer to her, like pushing my sword more through her chest. And I'm like, "Sawyer won't become a monster. That was always me." And yeah, just attack. Light?
Yeah, attack.
Nice. Ooh, that is a 13.
Brutal. Okay, you get to do 3 things, but before you do, I have remembered myself. I did not choose one from the fight back at Sawyer. I'll just give you a condition, Sawyer. Do you have insecure?
I do not.
Now you do.
Oh no. The only one I'm missing right now is hopeless. So she's still got hope. That's all you need.
Still hope!
You also,
It's
your clothes
true.
ripple and you return to the garb of the Viking peasant woman. Sparkle Guardian,
That's strange to me.
make your 3.
Yes.
Actually, no, you're right, because you're Icewolf Guardian. You ripple and you become a, not literally faceless, metaphorically faceless, like a Amazon worker. You look just like a drab Amazon worker.
It's her gas station uniform.
No!
Exactly.
A shitty
Make your choices,
polo.
Sparkle Guardian.
Yes, I'm inflicting a condition. She can take she can take angry, and I'm giving a really big opportunity to an ally. And I want to seize a superior position, so I think instead of lying on the ground, I've pushed myself up, and her and I are like, we're still kneeling, but we're like face to face now.
You stab her. She gasps. You come up to kneel and look at her. She just looks at you and says, "Out of all the good things about me, this is the one you kept." Puts her feet on your chest and shoves backwards into the old lady on the bench. that she just reaches up and grabs and pulls in front of her to protect her, and you see the old lady's head bounce against the ground as she protects herself. What conditions do you not have marked?
The only one I have left is insecure.
Do you feel like this would make you insecure?
After everything I did to save that old lady,
Yep, you're not here. You're in the moment dimension. We're gonna get to you
In the
next.
moment mention. We'll get there.
just saying.
Do you think this would make you insecure?
Yeah, just because she's not down yet. Like she's still going. Like, I'm giving it everything I've got, and I am so close to out of steam, and she's still up and still being a problem, and I'm exhausted, and that pain that was over here, it's getting closer and closer, and I know I'm running out time.
And we'll use your opportunity you give them. There's suddenly a beautiful sparkly light. And almost like an angel on the side of a novena candle, you see the end of all things and all of its glory floating suddenly in the middle of the scene. And coming out, it's seemingly way too large, coming out of its skirt is your car, banged up and battered, being pulled by Nadi, with a worm stretched back, holding it to the car. And in the car is Adrian, but she's not dressed like you remember. Adrian, before we cut to the moment dimension, will you tell me what something Guardian looks like?
Okay. I was tied between two things, but now that I have to describe it, I think I know exactly what it is. Is something Guardian in the magical girl clothes right now?
Yeah, you are fully transformed at the moment. You have your sword, you're in your outfit, etc.
Okay. I know. Oh my god. So, something Guardian is wearing a very... To start at the bottom, something Guardian has a pair of polished boots on. And those boots lead us up to a pair of very nice pressed slacks with a very definite crease at the front. And they are made of a nice, like, bright orange material. And these pants match perfectly with this vest, which is, like, it hugs Adrian in all of the right places, and it has the 3 little buttons and the 2 little useless pockets. And underneath it, Adrian is wearing a very nice white button-down shirt with 2 golden cufflinks. And the weapon is it's a pair of side daggers, which are basically like they were basically used by samurais to deflect katanas and stuff, and they're offensive weapons rather than defensive.
I love this. All of there's Katharine Hepburn is in my head. Raphael from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is in my head. Nanami from Utena. It's like you mixed them all up and created something Guardian. And as you ride in triumphantly in this chariot of a 1979 pink Trans Am, we cut to a blank space, a black space of the moment. Well, the moment dimension. The moment is standing over Sunbeam and a very, very beat up cloudy day. Cam, you're calling the shots here. You're the one who pulled me in.
I need a moment. What are you doing? Both of you.
There's a moment of reflection, and the sword is in my hand, sort of down by my side, and I extend my hand and like caress her cheek, looking at my younger other. And Sunbeam goes, I'm so sorry for all of my mistakes, but they're mine. And she will drag the thorny sword across the throat of her younger self, digging as deep as the tissue will allow. And then she'd like to seize the moment if she can.
So, first of all, she responds with, I don't want them. We were grand once. We'll be a... So your goal in all of this was to try to hurt.
Oh yeah, to end this facsimile of me. And then to seize the moment.
Fortunately, things don't end here.
Hold on. So if you're trying to end them, then you need to roll either fight or obliterate idol. And fight is what you're doing.
Yeah, fight makes sense to me. And what am I adding to fight?
Do you feel like this is graceful or daring?
I feel like this is daring. This is more out of
Yeah.
character with her.
Yes, it
And
is daring, yes.
The audacity. Which 9 plus 2, I believe, is an 11, if I remember
is.
math.
You get to choose 3.
Right. Which, looking at the options...
And Raw Storytime did redeem Hydrate or Die Straight, everybody.
Thank you, Rara. You're the best.
I love your username.
And I will never die straight. I promise you that. So, fight. Looking for the result. There it is. So, the 4 options are flirt or provoke with an opponent, create an opportunity for an ally through violence, cutting words, inflict a condition, and take object from an opponent. So I would like to inflict a condition on this facsimile of me. Can I do that 3 times?
No.
Okay. Then, in addition to that, I would like to... If I'm... so I would like to seize a superior position with this alternate version of me. And I would like... as I do this, to close my eyes and find a way to reach out to Sparkle Guardian and Song Guardian to fight. We need to fight. And create an opportunity for an ally through prowess or distraction. And I think prowess in sort of getting in touch with nature around me, being able to send that message.
So, a couple of questions. One is... what condition are you applying?
Hopeless.
Give me a second. The other is, how many conditions do you have, Mark?
Wait, conditions on myself?
You're inflicting hopeless, and then I am also asking information.
Oh, okay. I have insecure, angry, and hopeless.
So you have everything but guilty.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know if any of those actually make sense. So you inflict hopeless. I will let you know that you have filled up their condition track. That the blurry face is defeated. But because you have created an opportunity and seized a superior position and reached out to everyone, I will allow the group to make an obliterate eidolon check.
Ooh.
Because currently you are temporarily defeating Cloudy Day.
Mm-hmm.
If you make an obliterate eidolon check and you succeed, you can permanently end the problem.
I would love that.
So everybody has to call out what attack they're adding to this attack. This is the big Sailor Moon, all of this, the Senshi using their attacks and weaving them together into one massive giant attack. So I want to know what each person calls out, and we're going to end with Solar Guardian. And before that, the moment. So it's up to the other three to determine what order they're going in. Between Sparkle, Something, and Icewolf Striker, who's going first?
I'll go first. I'll go first, because I think Aura returning with my car and Naughty and some worm I don't know, and Adrian's here in a sick suit. Amazing. I am floored. I am uplifted. I laugh and my teeth are red with blood and I laugh. And my sword, I pull it out and I feel that call coming up from the ground, from the earth, of Solar Guardian's magic, and it says, fight. And laughing, and I just say, catalytic clash, and I do that. That's the attack I do.
What does it look like? You give us the whole
yes,
description.
like I said, it's the sword, the energy reverberates out, and it's and you hear the revving of the car, and the car itself, barely holding together, revs as well, in unison, and the tires squeal and smoke comes out, and it just echoes my attack, and I'm adding that energy to Solar Guardian's attack.
Perfect. And just because I'm that kind of nerd, somewhere deep in the audio of all that is a sample of oculatory laughing as the car revs up. The Utena stands will get the joke. Icewolf Striker and Something. Who's going next?
I can go
Muted,
next.
dear.
Or, oh yeah, Eve, you're muted.
I was just gonna say, still got the gun pointed at fake Cherry. I guess now with an old lady in between, so maybe take the finger off the trigger. But she thrust this rusty box katana off to the side, just kind of in a vague direction, and says, "Beast of Fenrir." And this shadowy wolf kind of leaps out of the blade with like a trail of ice behind it as it kind of rushes and dives into the ground to go into the moment.
Something Guardian?
I think Something Guardian, like, ooh, okay. She would say, something of the stars, and sort of like outstretch her hands, and these like very individual stars come like sprinkling forward.
I love Something of the Stars. The moment?
The moment again stands there and looks at like the neck getting slashed and feels like this call, and I think they realize things can't like move on in this place, and this thing is not wanted. And I think that as fast as we came here, we leave here. And the moment shouts out, "This was not the moment." And that's my move.
And Solar Guardian, what do you yell out What is your
She
attack that you
shout-
add? Hold on. What is your
Yep.
attack that you add, and how do you weave them all together to finally strike?
Yes. So that's where my head was at, anyways. She shouts, "Leaf, dream, forest," and she like swirls the sword around her, and I just imagine this younger version of her with the blurry face, the mangled hamburger neck, the like harsh wound of the chest where she pulled out the thorny sword, and the thorny sword catches the energy from all of the other magical girl powers. And then when all four hit the sword, the thorns explode outwards and pierce in every direction, missing all of her friends. But this younger version of herself is impaled 100 times by the thorns.
I love it. Is this like? Am I imagine this right? Where it's kind of like Anchi with the swords of humanity's hatred, except it's the thorns of your hatred.
Yeah, basically, yeah. She's just so full of rage at everything, including herself. And it's being projected outward.
Adore that. Hey, Adrian. Do you have a string on Sawyer?
Do I have a string on Sawyer?
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
If you spend it, because of where we're at the story, I will allow Sawyer to act with their actual bond score, rather than with the -1 for being Icewolf Striker.
I will spend that string.
However, I still think you're probably the lowest. So Sawyer, how many times this session have people spent strings to help you?
You're muted.
You are muted.
Like one roll, but both you and Jess spent one.
Mine doesn't count.
Didn't
you have
think so.
+1. Yeah,
Yep.
so you have a trust of 1. Bond of 1, excuse me. Is there anybody in the group who has not had anyone spend a string to help them this session?
Moi.
Do you have bond from a previous session? So
I
feel like you
think I do
be the-
with Sawyer.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Well, no, it's in general.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I thought you might be one of the other ones. Is there anybody else who would have a trust of 0?
No, not me.
Well, I don't know. I don't have any trust with anyone, I don't think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
nobody
same.
spent a string on to help either of you this session. Okay.
Nope.
So she has all of her conditions marked, so she's not subtracting for that. You have a bond of 0. So one of the people with 0, whoever you want, whoever feels least integrated with the team, roll me a flat roll.
I feel like it would be something who's the least integrated.
Okay.
A flat roll?
Flat roll.
God. A 7.
A 7. Does anybody have strings on either Adrian or on Cloudy Day?
I have 1 string on Adrian.
Yeah, I have one on Adrian.
String on Adrian.
If all 3 of you spend your strings, then you'll get a 10.
I will spend it.
How do you do it?
I think when she sees Adrian coming back in the car looking all cool, I think she just gives her a little smile. Which is probably not something you've seen from Sawyer all goddamn day.
And the other 2?
I spin the string. 'Cause it's almost the same thing because she's back and she brought everyone and she's so powerful and new. And all of that despite what I put her through. Despite what I did. And I'm proud of her for that. Because she did all this by herself.
Moment.
I think that's the moment appears and just winks at her.
So you have a 10 plus. Working in harmony, you obliterate the Eidolon, and the GM will tell you what clue or useful object it leaves behind. So, Solar, you're the one channeling everything. So how does it look? Give us just the visuals.
Yep. So beams of energy come into the moment and the moment dimension from the individual colors of the other girls. And they hit my sword and it ripples with energy and life. And the thorns explode in every direction. Thousands of directions. Missing all of my friends, but piercing 100 times my target. The younger version of myself.
And they tear apart the younger version of yourself. She was held for a moment, like again, Anchi with the 100 Swords of Humanity's hatred. But then they just tear to shreds. It's very anime, there's no gore to it, it's just tearing to shreds. It looks more like you're tearing paper than anything. In silhouette.
Yeah, I imagine it bursts with confetti and then burns.
Yeah, I like that. It bursts with confetti and burns. I like that. And dropping to the ground will be a cameo. An old school style cameo. The ivory kind, whatever it is. Is that 18th century? You know more about 18th century than I do.
That works. I mean, cameos were more common, were more popular later, but a cameo would exist in like the late 18th century.
Actually, no. You know what? I'm not even going to say cameo. I'm going to say describe, because you know more about it than I usually. So describe a very extravagant piece of jewelry.
Yes. On the floor, sort of out of position, is this collar, several strings of pearls interwoven with a purple diadem hanging down from the center front. And she picks it up and it drapes over her hand with the amethyst, huge, sort of dangling from her palm.
Would you say it's sort of a French style?
Oh yeah, it's definitely like a collar style necklace with at least 8 teeth.
And you notice that on the back of the amethyst, it just simply says, "I will never forget you, Honore." And
Beautiful.
2 of the blurry faces have been destroyed. We cut back to the battle where there is 1 left. There's 2 that have not been accounted for. There's still 1 who's facing off against the Mystic Guardians. Sherry, please roll me a Defy Disaster Grace.
That's a 7.
You can prevent damage to yourself, or you can prevent damage to the old lady, as your blurry-faced counterpart has thrown the old lady at you.
Oh, she threw her at me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So wait, hold on. You can either worry about the next attack, or you can...
Mm-hmm.
Let me do it in my head, sorry. You can save the old lady but be vulnerable to the next attack, or you can hurt the old lady and be safe from the next attack.
I think in this moment, with everything returned, Cherry just feels like she goes to protect the old lady, which maybe isn't smart and maybe isn't what she would have done 10 years ago, but something about Adrian being there, something about Aura being right here, and it's like, we are magical girls, we are the mystical guardians. What are we doing if we're not guarding people? We're here to help. That was always supposed to be the point. So I will defend the old lady.
You catch the old lady and quickly tuck around her to put your body between the blurry face and the old lady's body. Something Guardian. What are you doing?
Oh my god. So, wait, okay. Who are we?
Blurry-faced Sparkle Guardian.
Just blurry-faced Sparkle Guardian.
Yeah.
I want to go over and I want to not necessarily do anything about the fight, but I want to be there because I feel like at any given second Cherry is going to collapse. And I want to be there to catch her so she doesn't hit her head.
You notice Cherry stumbling as she puts herself between this old woman's body and the blurry face behind her.
I think... Is the blurry face like actively making an attack or no?
Oh yeah.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, no, it's rushing at Sparkle Guardian right now.
Does it have its blade like out?
Mm-hmm.
How
Yes, it does.
open is it?
No, wait, it doesn't have a blade. Because it got kicked away.
Ooh.
This is just
So, correction, because I just remember that
sprinting
fact.
forward,
It's
right in
running.
the open.
No, it's running away.
Oh, it's running away.
Running away.
Okay, I've got
Okay.
a mag dump.
I'm fine
Hold
with
on,
letting
hold
it
on.
run.
It's something. I asked something Guardian, which they were doing.
I'm fine with letting it run. I'm just going to stay here to make sure that Cherry doesn't, like, fucking die.
So again, you see Cherry stumbling.
I mean, is she about to fall? If she is, I want to catch her.
Yeah, you catch her.
Wonderful.
Do you say anything? You just catch her and be
Do I
silent?
say anything? I just catch her and I kind of look at her and I kind of panic and I don't say anything and I put her back on her feet.
You try to straighten me up, and I slump back into you.
Oh. Cherry. And I'm just kind of cradling her.
Adrian, I'm gonna be honest. I'm not doing so well.
Yeah. You're really not. Let's sit down. Let's sit down. Just for a sec. And I think Adrian kind of like tries to guide her over to somewhere a little bit safer.
Like
a
the
little
curb.
bit
We're
further
sitting
away.
on the curb.
Yeah, like sitting on the curb guides her away. And
in
like
the
helps
neon
her
lights,
down.
in the mist.
Yeah.
We'll come back to you, I guess. Sawyer mag dumps. Roll me, I'm guessing fight.
Yeah, it's like this doesn't even necessarily need to hit. Like she's running away. This is mostly just, well, fuck you.
Okay, so you're not even trying to accomplish.
Yeah,
anything.
it doesn't necessarily need to hit. If it hits, it hits.
No,
but
no. If you're not trying, if
it's-
you're not actually
it's
trying to hurt, then
No, I mean, theoretically
no.
she is, but narratively we don't need to
narrative is
bother
not.
with
That's
it.
what the game
Yeah.
cares about. Yeah. So she runs and gets away.
Yeah. As she's running away, I think starts to look over at Cherry, look at the little old lady laying on the ground with her weird cactus chest, and I think she's gonna pick up that old lady and like throw her over her shoulder, walk over to Sparkle and something. Say, I think I think we should go to the hospital.
Yes, Naughty can. And I gesture over to Naughty. Like, Naughty, the civilian.
I think this is probably the first time that Sawyer's really, really actually, like, looked at what else is going on. And noticed Naughty and the weird worm and fucking Aura. I think she just sits down too.
So, I think that the last bit that I'm going to call for from y'all, and then anything that anybody else wants to do before I go into the final little clips, will be, I think, it seemed like something Guardian wanted to emotionally support Sparkle Guardian, but hadn't quite done it yet. So I would love to see and roll that emotional support.
Oh, fuck. Okay. I actually, I think as they're sitting, maybe like before Sawyer sits down, I think Adrian has like an arm around Cherry, and she's not talking like super loud or necessarily looking at Cherry, but you can still kind of tell that she's talking to Cherry, because who else would she be talking to? Even though she's done a lot of talking herself. But she's like, you know, it's okay to mess up. I mean, I learned it firsthand, it's really easy to push yourself too far when you're a magical girl. But you don't need to do everything alone, Cherry. I'm like, if nothing else, I'm here for you.
Roll.
Adrian.
Okay.
I'll lean my head on your shoulder. It's like, thing is, I've messed everything up. So I guess I have to start fixing it.
Harry, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know how much you can do to fix it. I think I think sometimes you just need to make amends and move on.
Well, I look down, blood coming out of my chest. I've been holding my side, and I do that thing.
Like reaches over and tries to like put a hand over the blood flow, and is like, "Don't worry about that."
Yeah, I do that thing where you move your hand away and it's got blood on it because you've been bleeding, and I'm like, well, just take it one thing at a time. For now.
One thing at a time.
Roll with heart.
Roll with heart. I don't know what my heart stat is. Okay. Fuck. Oh, that's not that bad. 9.
Do you have a strength
On Cherry?
on Cherry?
I believe so. I do, yes.
If you spend it, you'll get a 10.
That's true, I would. I'll spend the string.
And since you already had a conversation, did you say that Cherry opened up to you?
As much as Cherry does. Anyone.
Alright. Are either of you smitten with the other?
I don't think so.
No, not in this moment.
Okay. So, Cherry, you can choose one. Clear a condition, mark XP, +1 forward, or gain insight from me about an obstacle facing one of you.
I look at this new something Guardian. What is some obstacle that might be coming?
You ask her that in game?
No, I'm asking the GM.
Oh, okay.
You know that there are still 3 blurry faces out there. And the scene I do after this will be something that you know about. The others won't. This is just a cutscene. But you'll know about the last scene. It'll hit you. Mystically. Adrian, you can choose one with the additional option if you want to getting the string back.
What are my options?
Clear a condition, mark XP, +1 forward, gain insight from me about an obstacle facing one of you, or get a string on Jerry.
I'll take +1 for it.
Okay, make a note so that you remember that in autumn when we come back. Because come back we will, everybody. You have reached the end of Sparkle Heart Magic Force Go Season 1. Thank you for tuning in to our finale, Nostalgia Kills. At the end of the credits, we will see a scene of 5 college-age girls. They're young, 18 to 20. You're not even sure any of them's 21, really. Wearing cheap, chibi-fied versions of Sparkle Heart Magic Force's outfits in plastic, and they're all cartoonified and chibi-fied and cutesy. And the one that looks kind of like Scale Guardians, at least he's supposed to be Scale Guardian, has created a circle on the ground in front of her, glowing in gold with all the standard trappings of cinematic European occultism. It's got, something vaguely like a hexagram, something vaguely like, Hebrew writing or Latin around sigils and the like. And appearing out of it, you see Reader Partisan. Well, you see Dick Dug. Anyway. And the circle finally fades. And the one that looks like Stampede Guardian says, "Seems like we only had enough power to bring you back, boss. But what are we going to do next?" And that's when the show ends and goes to black. And Cherry, that's what you knew about. That the last remnants of the mascot team that Sparkle Heart Adventure Recreation Park created had brought Dick Dug back.
That moist
From the
little
moment
shit.
We don't like a damp man.
No.
Sweaty
Thank you.
cat.
Thank you so much, everybody, for being on this ride with us. This has been peak role-playing game experience for me in almost every way. Please subscribe to the channel. And as we do our outros, we are going to tell not only our strings, but I will give you free reign, because it's the finale, free reign to add one thing to the credit sequence. Just one thing that we see, in addition to telling us your stars. Before you do so, I would like to tell everyone who is still around, hopefully no one's left, that in 8 weeks, we will return. Well, 3 of the people you see, plus me, will return with Tragedies of Waldron Hall, a side story, a prequel to Sparkle Heart Magic Force Go, which will tell the backstory of why the 19th century Zeitgeist is Stampede Guardian and not Spectral Guardian or Steam Guardian or Sanguine Guardian. So tune in to see us play a completely different genre. It will be a gothic horror romance TV miniseries. I'm personally inspired a lot by Dark Shadows, the old 60s television show. Not mention Tim Burton's name. There is no Tim Burton Dark Shadows movie adaptation of Bao Sing Se.
I actually liked that movie.
It wasn't Dark Shadows.
No, but it was fun.
But yes, come and see us play through that in 8 weeks. And then in fall, we will come back with Sparkle Heart Magic First Go Season 2, where they will deal with the aftermath of this and maybe new challenges as well. We will have to talk about that in our pre-planning. So to tide you over for the next 8 months, please listen to my players tell you what they're doing next and where you can find them and all of that jazz. And also keep an eye out. We have a wiki for this game that is currently in progress, so you can keep up to that and get reminded later on what happened this season. Let us start with. Okay, I kind of want to leave the one who is embodying the apocalypse to be last. So let's go with Jess. Why don't you start the outros? Who you are, where people can find you, what you're up to, your stars, and one thing in the credit sequence of the finale episode.
Hi there. Yes, I am Jess. I'm art_fantastical. This was amazing. This was a wonderful ride. Please join us for season 2. You can find me here. You can find me in the Mysteries of Walden. That's going to be great. You can find me over on Ballad of the Seven Dice doing very weird horror stuff with Eve and other cool people. You can find me on the Graveyard Tape spinoff, Queen City Supers, where we're awkward superhero youths at Superhero Trade School. Oh, my stars are everything. This was amazing. I must say I did intensely love the 20-minute side of us playing D&D.
It was amazing.
That was amazing. It was very real. It spoke to me. I have literally been in that same basement as a high schooler. It was perfect. I loved that. And in the credits, you see the 3 of us sitting on the curb, kind of just for a second. And then Naughty flutters over. And it's just that, like, anime of, like, Cherry reaching out to him and them fluttering over. And it's like, Naughty! And they're like, Cherry! But then she snatches Naughty out of the air and is like, oh, it starts rubbing his sparkly glitter slime on her very broken arm, and it starts healing.
Yes, I love it.
And she's like, oh, thank God. I missed you, Naughty.
Next up, that garland sure is juicy.
Hi, I'm Juicy Garland, Boston area drag queen and super nerd. You can find me at Juicy Garland or at juicy.garland. Search one of those on your favorite social medias, and you'll find me one way or another. I am head of Tabletop Tailspinners PR, and I am in All Our Faults, which is a Monster Hearts 2 actual play pod produced by Tabletop Tailspinners. I also am in a whole bunch of other stuff upcoming in short runs, audio, and video. So make sure you pay attention to my socials. I'm so excited for season 2 for this. Holy shit. So I imagine in the moment dimension, I watch the form of my younger self mangled to ground beef perfection. There's a beat where I pause, and now I finally seize the moment where, like, wind billows and I use my nature's touch move, and, like, slowly as my costume is waving in this invisible wind, vines come and push the moment towards me, and I look her in the eye and I stroke her cheek and put my arm around her waist. If you live in the moment, you'll never know you've had any of them. Tallahassee, let's go home.
Speaking of Tallahassee, let's just jump over there, and then we'll do Adrian and then Eve. Cam, why don't you give us a goodbye?
Hi, I'm Cameron. You can find me anywhere you see Streaming Rainbow. Actually, YouTube, Streaming Rainbow. Instagram, at The Streaming Rainbow. TikTok, Streaming_Rainbow. Ooh. My star was definitely the D&D game. That was so fun, especially our resident blue lawyer, Honey, just being like, no, this is how you play the game. I love that shit. And I think as the moment kind of like stands there I think definitely like the credit scene, like it ends as Sunbeam asks the question, more credits, goes back right to the same scene, but in like the moment's perspective. Uh, I think the moment just nods, because like they have been like flickering in and out. Like they saw Adrian, now they're back with Sunbeam, and Sunbeam is back in like on that same like curb with the other three, but the moment dimension is gone. And then we see like the back of Tallahassee's head, um, in like Stampede Guardian getup, and then like the camera fades and it's the blurry face version, and the moment appears right before them, and just like quizzically looks at them because the main thing that's been sticking out is what is up with these zeitgeists, the past moving to the future, and the moment just reaches their hand inside of the blurry faced Stampede Guardian, and you see all of the zeitgeists, like the like time periods, just like flashing and flashing and flashing as the hand kind of like follows down to the 19th century to figure out. And I think it's a little more gothic than Stampede. And then it cuts.
Ooh, I like that. That's exciting. That's really exciting. I love my players. I love my players so much. Adrian, or Saul, you are Saul. Adrian is your character.
Yeah, hi, I'm Solstice. I use any neo pronouns or just all of the pronouns. I'm playing Adrian, who uses they she and is something. Let's see. You can find me here playing Waldron Hall and also voice acting on Tranthologies in June. Which is it's an anthology podcast where all of the stories are about trans people for Pride Month.
Yay!
You can find it wherever you find good podcasts. My star was my star was probably becoming something Guardian. That was pretty cool. One scene in the credits that I would add, I guess. I think. Oh gosh, what is it? Maybe it's a little snippet of Adrian arguing with Sawyer and Sunny and Cherry being like, I know we have Naughty, but you guys should really go to the hospital.
I love that. That's great. Eve.
Hello, I'm Eve. You find me at Lawless Victory on the Blue Sky. Let's see. I don't really have anything else going on right now, so yeah, just go check me out on Ballad of the Seven Dice. Those are some fun things. It's a real long form one, or you can go and listen to like Phantom Ice. That's a shorter series. That's more your speed. If you prefer robots punching each other over robots kissing goblins. Yeah, as for my stars, well, yeah, the D&D game that was fun. That was a good change of pace. I'm glad I got to do the Chekhov's gun, literally. And I'll also say it's always fun to just like be encouraged to just shit talk someone else's character, just really just dump on him. So like that feels good. And for a final little credit scene, I think we see Butcher Every King piling into the band van. A nurse just hopping in the driver's seat as Mildred and Squibs are chanting "Rescue Quest, Rescue Quest, Rescue Quest" as they climb into the back.
I love Butcher Ever King so much. You have to
And they
run.
pass,
What?
they pass the sign into New Eden. They're gunning it into town on Rescue
Yeah.
Quest.
No, I think we should do a one shot where Butcher Every King has a Scooby Doo adventure.
Fully agreed.
I love it.
Fully agreed. Hi everybody. I have lots of different names. You'll hear me give a different one every time. One of my names is Flirt. Flirt. It sounds like flirt, but it rhymes with burp. FLURP, and it is aggressively lowercase. I use 3 different sets of pronouns, one of which is be bim bose, bose bimself. First of all, my star is just everything my players do. Like, I feel like I have finally achieved that mythic state of GMing where I am doing everything and nothing all at once, and I kind of just give my players things and they make a story for me. And I'm doing all kinds of work, but also no work. It's brilliant and it's amazing, and I love it so much. Y'all have no idea how much I fell in love with these players. Yeah, so my star was everything. You can find me here. You can find me here on the 30th, if I recall correctly. The voice that none of y'all can hear will tell me I'm wrong if I am wrong. But you can find me here on the 30th for The End of Love, a Dragon Age murder mystery, playing Maddalena di Filago, a completely trustworthy and straightforward and upfront Antivan living on Orlais as a servant to an elven mage, playing the grand game. The 6th, the voice none of y'all can hear didn't correct me, but the person who runs the channel did. It's on the 6th, I guess. So find me here on the 6th. Playing in that is being run by Baba Yaga, who is our producer. You can also find me here in 8 weeks running Tragedies of Waldron Hall, a game I am beyond excited to run for everyone. I really love the idea of mixing different genres together, so I'm super duper happy about that. And the only other stream I'm doing right now is Breaking Neon over on Singularity Roleplay, which is City of Mist game, in which I play Serizat, dark fantasy author and ingenue in way over her head. It's on the 3rd Sundays of the month, so you should 100% call into or watch into that. I cannot talk, y'all. I've been running this game too long. So 100% tune into that. It's a hell of a lot of fun. You should also cast me in your shows. That would be amazing. Or hire me as a GM. I'm a professional GM specializing in kink culture centering TTRPGs. You can find my start playing page through the link tree that our producer put in chat to hire me for any of the games that I run. You can also request that I run almost anything, kink culture centering or not. I've been playing games long enough, and I'm more than happy to come up with whatever story you want to play. Or just join my Patreon, which also you'll find a link in there. Because I think I'm cute, and I'm also too crazy and trans to have an actual job. So I survive off of the largesse of others. So pay for my cuteness. I think that's everything. So we will see you in 8 weeks for Tragedies of Waldron Hall. See y'all later.
Boy.
Bye.